love to move the ball around. They love trying to get their stars open. They just a nice job shutting that down early on.
As Williams' shot goes up and in. They're going to go ahead and give it back to Maddox. Maddox over to Foster. Foster guarded by Stevens. Foster, easy floater up and in. And Matt, that's what.
Yeah, she just plays at her own pace, and she uses that to her advantage.
As the two-point shot from Lumsden.
Enough time for Robertson to come in and tie her up.
As Stevens, tough shot up and in. Guarded by Stevens. Going to go ahead and give it up to Spurgeon. Spurgeon over to Robertson. Back to Foster, and just she makes it look easy.
They love to move the ball around. Every girl on that floor is moving around.
Lubbock Christian now up 9-6. It's a three-point shot by Stevens. Ties it back up at 9 by Stevens. And Matt, Stevens is doing a great job on the offensive end. As she is, as Stevens is second on. As Stevens going to go ahead and go to Williams. Williams guarded by Spurgeon. Williams, tough shot over Spurgeon. What a great job there by
scouting report right there. Madeline Stevens, she loves to go to her left hand on that lefty scoop shot, and Grace Foster was ready for that.
And goes to Spurgeon in the paint. Spurgeon back to Foster. Foster pump fakes and may have gotten away with an offensive foul there, but Foster going to go ahead and take the wide open mid-range jumper, bringing the ball up the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Buzzer beater layup, no good.
Every time she gets the ball, I'm going to look to score. She just has that scorer's mentality that just makes her such a tough guard.
And from the first bringing the ball up the floor, Maddox with it. Maddox goes over to Foster. Foster straightaway three, up and in.
And blocking Kanaya Williams.
As Lubbock Christian on the other end now turning the ball over, and it's going to be Rampel, Esquivel. Esquivel, a great player for her own, Matt, in her high school days. She was a 2,000-point scorer. Meanwhile, Lumsden's going to take the screen set by Williams. Lumsden kicks it out to Stellato. Stellato, tough three, up and in over Roberts. Slow it down. Is it a Grace Foster wide open for three, up and in.
And just a lapse on defense you cannot have if you're Angelo.
Stellato's going to go ahead and give it up to Stevens. Stevens almost loses it inside the paint. Gives it up to Lumsden. Lumsden up and in. Lumsden, what a great response from the truth. Maddox drives out to Foster. Foster again wide open for three, and she's going to get point number 20 in the first.
Look for them to try and keep feeding Kanaya Williams the ball inside. They notice they have the height advantage, and she's having a really great game.
Burns gives it up to Esquivel. Esquivel is going to go ahead and drive, kick it out to Lumsden. Lumsden, tough three-point shot, up and in, giving the Rampel. Give it up to Chappell. Chappell gives it up to Foster, who's guarded by Morrow. Robertson, wide open three from the corner, up and in, giving Lubbock Christian the lead back now with it. Esquivel's going to drive, kicks it over to Williams. Williams, great shot, giving the Rampel. As they will go 2 for 2 from the line. Lubbock Christian will, as Stevens will miss the layup.
Advantage to lead to that Grace Foster layup.
Esquivel's going to drive into the paint, go ahead and give it up to Stevens. Stevens rolls around, up and in. And Stevens does a great job off it. As what a tough drive and layup from Stellato, bringing the ball up the floor. Stellato's going to go ahead and drive. Going to kick it out to Esquivel. Esquivel wide open for three, no good. Up the floor. Give it up. As deep three from Robertson, up and in, giving the Chaparrals the lead. Assist is going to go to Great.
The open woman at all times.
Now bringing the ball up the floor. Lumsden, tough fadeaway layup, up and in. Or no drive on Stellato. Nothing there. Going to go ahead and go baseline now. Going to kick it out. Chappell, 4-3, up and in. Lubbock Christian cannot miss the run to a 10-0 run for Lubbock Christian.
That's a pro move from Grace Foster. Just great footwork.
Stevens driving up the floor, kicks it out to Burns. Burns, straightaway three, no good. As offensive board by Williams. As Lumsden, pull-up jumper from three. Wow. Cutting the jump. As Foster now double teamed again. Going to find Spurgeon. What a tough pass, and Spurgeon just misses the shot.
Angelo stayed fortunate there. Burns was late to that rotation.
And Landry Lubbock Christian with it. 5 seconds on the clock. Over to Foster. Foster, tough shot off the glass, up and in. And will extend the lead. 56. Maddox goes to her right. Over to Robertson. Robertson What a great pass into Maddox. Maddox, tough layup up and in. And that is going to be. As Macy Maddox drives on Stevens. And tough shot. Great defense there by Stevens. But with it, Robertson's going to give it up to Chappell. Chappell drives, kicks it over to Schumann. And nothing you can do there defensively.
Pull-up jumper to give LCU a 12-point lead.
Escobedo to Lumsden, and Lumsden tough jumper up and in. And Maddie Lumsden, 17th points of the game. Almost turned the ball over. Did. And they're leaving Grace Foster wide open for three again. But it doesn't matter because they can't get the rebound. And Schumann up and in.
No one inside for put back for two for Reese Schumann.
As Maddie Lumsden feeling hot. And that is. And
get back into this ball game.
Corona's going to give it up to Esquivel. Esquivel over to Williams. Williams, tough reverse layup up and in. Cutting the deficit. Magic Esquivel gives it up. Over to Foster. Fired it by Esquivel in the paint, up and in. And Foster going to set the screen. Now guarded by the true freshman in Corona, Maddox. Guarded by Stevens, up and in. Esquivel, drive. Burns. As Maddox just turns around on us. He's going to take the screen. Foster, double team. He's going to give it up to Schumann. And great job there by Grace Foster. As that's going to do it here, folks, as Lubbock Christian wins 80-63. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and hear from head coach Alicia Ellis.